it's everything else that comes into an MMA fight as to why Makhachev. I reckon Makhachev could win on the feet against McGregor in an MMA fight, but in a boxing match, it's just completely different. McGregor knows how to box. You know what I mean? Like, actually box when you look at some of the footage of him. Prime McGregor was magic. Yeah. Thank you very much. He was. He was so magic, dude. The Eddie Alvarez fight, I was literally in awe of that performance because I actually thought Eddie Alvarez was going to beat him, chat. I thought Eddie Alvarez, too big, going to wrestle him. Chad Mendes kept him down. And I was thinking, this is a terrible matchup for Conor McGregor. Eddie Alvarez is going to be able to get this one done. Then during the build-up, I was like, hang on. McGregor's really in his head because I remember when Alvarez was doing, every damn one of you, like that. He was doing all this at the press conference. He couldn't even get his words out. So I did think McGregor was in his head, and it made me feel more confident in him. But, man, Eddie could have beaten him, yeah. He really could. Conor won half his fights with mind games. And just the height of the moment, you know what I mean? Like this, the McGregor fight, the big one you've been waiting for, you know? The massive McGregor fight. Don't embarrass yourself in front of your whole family. They're all going to be watching. It was just that every single fight that he had, pretty much. Everyone was on edge as like their biggest fight. Alvarez a champ. He KO'd Rafael dos Anjos at the end of the day. Whether you think he was good or not, he TKO'd Rafael dos Anjos. So he was a champion. Lost to Cerrone brutally, by the way. I actually think, chat, there's a fight that I've always thought was kind of fixed. Not fixed by the UFC, but I think Cerrone had money on him winning a decision against Eddie Alvarez. Because Cerrone has some of the nastiest finishing instincts in the UFC. And if you've ever watched back that fight with Alvarez, I'm telling you, Cerrone had money on himself by decision. He had Alvarez absolutely couldn't even walk in that fight. He was destroying his legs in that fight, brutalizing his legs. And then he laid on top of him for the whole second half of the fight and didn't do anything. Just laid in full guard on top of him. He literally, Alvarez couldn't walk in that fight, and Cerrone willingly laid on top of him for the rest of the fight. And it was so crazy to me watching it. Fights that people think are fixed. I still don't understand what happened in the Moreno-Figueiredo second fight. But the fourth fight might just mean, you know, they land that shot and things change. But yeah, there's other fights that I've always thought were a bit weird. A few of them, I guess. Don't you know? Hey up, man, you cunt, yeah. Lawler's last fight was a foul, 10,000% rigged. I've just seen Nico Price take swift shots off Mikel Pereira, so it was crazy to see him immediately chinned by Lawler. Lawler versus Nick Diaz was rigged. Maybe Nico Price just sucked, but Lawler 100% took it easy on Nick Diaz to make it more of a fight than he needed it to be. I think. He 100% was like, don't KO him early, Lawler. That's what they kind of told him. At least make it some kind of fight, you know? Going easy doesn't mean rigged. I know what you mean, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying here, dude. Kind of. Ish. Rigged-ish. Kind of rigged-ish. You know what I mean? That video tribute after the fight and that ridiculous KO. Yeah, true. It was all very, very... And he had to get a KO for it to be played with enough time. It's an interesting take. I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility. But Lawler was not throwing heat into his shots against Nick Diaz at all. He was genuinely holding back punches. I was so confused. Actually, it wasn't rigged. Yeah, no. Conor is done. All right.